Jai. Srila Sarup Damodar Roy Ramananda Ki Acharya Srila Haridas Thakur Sigo Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Shri Vas Shri Navadvipa Dham Ki Jai Shri Vrindavan Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopi Go Govardhan Dvadashavanatmaka Shri Braj Mandala Dham Ki Jai Shyama Kunda Radha Kunda Yamuna Ganga Tulsi Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Jai Shri Shri Radha Govinda Radha Gopinath Radha Madan Mohan Jiyo Ki Jai Jai Shri Shri Radha Gokulananda Radha Shyama Sundar Radha Raman Radha Jai Shrimati Lalita Vishaka Adi Asta Sakhi Vrinda Ki Jai Shri Rupa Manjari Rati Manjari Adi Manjari Vrinda Ki Jai Shrimati Ki Jai Shrimati Purnamasi Yoga Maya Devi Ki Jai Shri Gopi Swar Mahadeva Ki Jai Maharaj Ki Jai Grantra Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai Grantra Shri Chaitanya Charitamritam Ki Jai Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Sudarshaya Bhakta Prabhu Shri Prahlad Maharaj Ki Jai Charodam Charu Sampradaya Charu Acharya Ki Jai Akarmat Raj Shri Chaitanya Mat Ki Jai और अनन्य शकमत समूह की जय श्री विश्व वैष्णव राज सभा की जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय त्रिभुवन पावन हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय त्रिभुवन मंगल हरिनाम हरे कृष्ण की जय सचिनंदन गौर हरि की जय श्री नित्यानंद महाजन की जय श्री पंच तत्व की जय Samavita Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Samagata Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Jai Shri Shri Nitai Gaur Premanandi Hari Hari Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guru Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangam Langayati Girim Yat Kripa Tamaham Vande Shri Gurun Dinataranam Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaura Trishe Namaha Ajanulambita Pujo Sankirtanaika Pitaro कमलायताक्षो विश्वम्भरो द्विजवरो जुगधर्मपालो वन्दे जगत्प्रियकरो करुणावतारो पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तवतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम् हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये नमो नवननेत्राय वेणुवाद्य विनोदने राधाधर सुधापान शालने वनमालने कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय हरये परमात्मने प्रणतक्लेशनाशाय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः गोविन्द बलभे राधे प्रार्थये त्वामहं सदा त्वदीयम् इति जानातु गोविन्दो मां त्वया सह राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी राधे वृन्दावनादिशे करुणामृतवाहिनी कृपया निजपादाब्ज दास्यं माह्यं प्रदीयताम् भक्त्या विहीन अपराधलक्षये क्षिप्तश्च कामादितरङ्गमध्ये कृपामयि त्वं शरणं प्रपन्ना वृन्दे नमस्ते चरणारविन्दम् वृन्दाय तुलसीदेव्याय प्रियाय केशवस्य च कृष्ण भक्ति प्रदे देवी सत्यवच्चाय नमो नमः श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So first of all, I'm offering my unlimited Dandavat Pranams, my Shraddha Pushpanjali at the lotus feet of my most beloved worshipable Gurudev, Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Vishnu Pad, Paramahansa, Astotarasata Sri Srila, A.C. Bhakti Vedanta, Swami Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada. Then I'm offering my same unlimited Dandavat Pranams and Shraddha Pushpanjali at the lotus feet of my most beloved Nitya Lila Sri Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sri Maharaj and Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Vishnu Pad Paramahansa Astotarasata Sri Srila Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. my Dandavat pranams to all of my Shri Rupa Anuga Guru Varga, and my Dandavat pranams to all the Vaishnavas and all the Vaishnavis. So now we will proceed from where we left off yesterday in Srila Gurudev's presentation of the Sri Ratha Yatra Katha, Ratha Yatra Prasangam, and how he was explaining what were the moods Hera Panchami, which is called also Lakshmi Vijay festival, on the 5th day when Jagannath has gone to the Gundicha Mandir. We discussed and heard that pastime, how Lakshmi Devi comes searching for her husband who has not returned. So, and then what ensued in that dramatic performance, Mahaprabhu was much to Swarup Damodar Goswami by Lakshmi Devi. He asked, why is it Devi not actually visit Vrindavan and enter into the rasa dance? Mahaprabhu asked. And of course, when he's asked Swarup Damodar Goswami, then there are going to be so many wonderful. So we heard all of that discussion. Some portions from Chaitanya Charitamrita, but Gurudev's Katha we heard. In completing that Katha, then Srila Gurudev now is going to be explaining what is the difference between the mood of Aishwarya and Madhurya. So yesterday, all of you were here, except for Yala Prabhu, and we had we basically tried to understand what is Aishwarya and who is Bhagavan, and why we refer to a very senior Vaishnava and my godbrother and disciple of Srila Prabhupada. So he knows about back to home, back to Godhead. So we were discussing yesterday why this term is being used by our acharyas, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and so forth, and why they just didn't say Supreme Personality of God. So I'll just ask you for anything you want to mention about that.
Why Godhead?
Yes, and what is the meaning? Why this is being used, this term Godhead?
Well, let's see.
Because I remember when I first encountered that term, meeting the devotees, it was a curiosity. Godhead,
It was different from what we had known in
Exactly.
our indoctrination in the West.
Right.
And that was very intriguing. As a matter of fact, when he said Godhead, that meant
Yeah.
it didn't mean, but what he portrayed was that
Yes.
the topmost,
Right.
in charge of all the other gods.
Okay.
And as a hippie, I just went from there and just tried to follow and understand, more about that.
Right.
And
Did you ever think about it? Like, why? Why Godhead? Why they selected that term? And then Prabhupada's back to Godhead magazine.
Right.
Back to home. Back to Godhead.
Back to Godhead.
Yes.
And all the gods are there, and all the demigods and all the other gods, and all the gods that are taking care of so many administrative.
But then why would we say back to Godhead if there's demigods? We're not trying to go to the demigods.
We're not trying to go.
Yeah, so what is Godhead actually referring to? See, we have to think about it. So, now I'm asking you, what did I say yesterday?
Like a shower head. So many streams from the shower head are the demigods or the expansions of Krishna. Sorry,
not demigods.
Sorry, the expansions.
No. Yeah.
The expansions, primary expansions. But
Yeah.
they're all coming from that one shower head and the whole
And who is that?
all comes from Krishna.
Was it Lord Narayan?
No. The original Bhagavan. Sri
And what did I say about Bhagavan yesterday? The term Bhagavan implies what?
He was the supreme above everybody, above all of the other ones?
No, the word Bhagavan.
One who possesses opulence.
Yes, he possesses which opulences?
Rasa.
All
Huh?
6 of you.
Rasa.
6 opulences, you said. No, rasa is not listed as one of the opulences.
Strength,
Wealth.
There is a verse, and this verse, it is composed by Parasara Muni, who is the father of Srila Vyasadeva. The actual verse that I quoted to you yesterday. Now I'm going to quote it again, but I'm not going to tell you the meaning of the words. You're going to have to figure it out, because you attended the class yesterday. Now here's your test. Be able to know the 6 opulences. How many are there?
6.
Are there 5 or 4 or 7?
6.
There are 6. Try to understand this point. Otherwise, you will be ignorant. If you don't know what the 6 opulences are, then how are you going to explain to someone who is Krishna? So if you read Prabhupada's introduction to the Krishna book, he goes into that topic. Very necessary. If you want to understand who Krishna is, you have to understand the word Bhagavan. Now, we have 2 books that are very important to study to understand the topic of Bhagavan. And what are they?
Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam.
Do they have the name Bhagavan in them?
Yes.
Explain.
From the word Bhagavad Gita is Bhaga, and from Bhagavatam.
Bhagavad Gita. What does Gita mean?
Song.
It means song. And Bhagavad, not Bhagavan, but Bhagavad means what?
Of Lord.
Huh?
Lord. The Lord.
Song. God.
It's very obvious what Bhagavad means. Yes, we translate it as the song of God.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, but what does Bhagavad actually mean?
Of God.
Only God?
Of God.
How many gods are there?
One supreme.
This book is called Bhagavad Gita, which means the song of Bhagavan. Otherwise, why is it called Bhagavad? And why are you saying God? We're studying Sanskrit here. If you want to know what our acharyas are preaching, at least you have to know what the title of the most important book in all of India, what does it mean? And I just had a whole class with you about Bhagavan and how he possesses 6 opulences. So who is that?
Shri Krishna.
Yes. Who is the speaker of Bhagavad Gita? You know that all throughout the Bhagavad Gita it says, Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. What does that mean?
The Lord says, Lord
It means Bhagavan
The one full of
spoke.
opulences.
Why we always keep on flipping the word to the English? We're not new people. Shri Bhagavan spoke. And why is he Bhagavan?
Because he possesses 6 opulences.
Thank you. Now we're going to go to those opulences. We're going to review that again before we go on. Aishwaryasya. Wait, I'll say the whole verse first. but I'll hold up my finger for each of the words of the 6 opulences. Aishwaryasya, Samagrasya. I didn't put a finger out. Aishwaryasya, Samagrasya. Shriya, Jnana, Vairagyayos Chaiva, Sannambhagam Itingina. Sannambhaga means 6 opulences. Means Bhagavan, who possesses in full 6 opulences. In full. Samagrasya means completely in full. Now what is that? Aishwaryasya.
Wealth. Unlimited wealth.
Okay. Explain that wealth. What does it mean?
The possessor of all opulences.
No, the possessor of what wealth?
Topmost.
All top.
What? Like what?
Everything.
Huh?
He owns everything.
He owns everything?
Yes.
Well, explain that everything. What is everything?
All elements of
All
the material world and the spiritual.
Only creation?
Oh no, but both the heavenly, or not heavenly, the spiritual planets and the material.
And all the genius.
All material and spiritual.
Yesterday, did we not talk about Vaikuntha? And the Vaikuntha planets? And the Vaikuntha region, which is unlimited, Ananta? There's no limit. And everything in the material world is limited. But both realms, everything, who's the owner?
Bhagavan Shri Krishna.
Yes. And his different incarnations. But he's the supreme personality of Godhead. So that Godhead term, yesterday we were explaining, it means all the different expansions of that one supreme, absolute supreme being. But I'm adding one more definition to it. I didn't mention this yesterday, and then I thought about it. Godhead also means where that personality reigns supreme and where he resides eternally. That realm is also called Godhead. It's none different than him. That's why this verse that Gurudev, Prabhupada, our acharyas would quote about who is the Aradhyo Bhagavan, who is the most worshipable, because Aradhya means worshipable. So Aradhyo Bhagavan, Vrajesha Tanayas, the most worshipable form of Bhagavan is who? Vrajesha Tanayas, the son of the king of Vraja. Vraja Isha, Vrajesha, means Nanda Maharaj. He's the king of Vrindavan. Krishna is the prince. He's not the king. So Vrajesha Tanayas, the son of the king of Braj. And that is only Krishna. And he has numerous names in Vraja Vrindavan. We're going to hear about what his Madhurya Dham is. Okay? But both the Aishwarya Dham and the Madhurya Dham are included in Godhead. Because that's the realm where those personalities eternally reside. And when they expand down into the material world, like Lord Nrsingadev and so forth, then they perform their pastimes, but they're simultaneously existing in the spiritual, eternal world. That never changes. That's eternal. So Godhead means also that. It means all of his expansions, his incarnations, and his dham, even his parikar, his associates. They're also none different than him. His eternal associates that descend down with him. So this back to Godhead, back to home, is also that place where the Supreme Personality of Godhead resides. So we'll finish the 6 opulences and then we'll move forward. Aishwaryasya, you got that. Virya,
All strength.
yes. And you can also say power.
Power.
Because in English language, strength, generally, immediately a person thinks, how much can you lift? Right?
500 pounds.
All Shakti. He is the possessor of all power. All Shakti belongs to him. All Shakti. And all the personifications of Shakti, the Lakshmi Devis, the Gopis, Srimati Radhika, they're all personifications of the energy. And he is the energetic. So, he completely strength. When we say virya, complete all power. It also means he can do anything. He is the supreme master. Anything he can do. So virya, yasha. Yasha. We say that in our Sri Guru Charana Padma. And there we say, at the very end, we say, Ebe Yasha, Gushuk Tribhuvan. May your fame, your glory and your fame be spread all over Tribhuvan, 3 worlds. What does 3 worlds mean?
Then earthly, and then
Upper, lower, and no.
That's not the 3 worlds. That is one definition of the 3 worlds within this material universe. But the 3 worlds...
There's 3 main universes, isn't there? Within
universes?
maybe
Planetary systems.
planetary systems. Yes.
No, that's within the universe. That's what he just said. Heavenly planets, middle planets, lower planets. But his fame is not just spread here in the material universe. His fame is also spread everywhere. That means in this realm of the external potency, Bahiranga Shakti, in the internal potency, Antaranga Shakti, and even in the Jiva Shakti. These are the 3 realms, the 3 worlds. These are the 3 energies of Bhagavan. And everything exists. All the energies, all the realms of existence, he is known everywhere. That's why Bhagavan has unlimited fame, yasha. We know that in this world there are famous people. Fame is something attractive if a famous person comes. If an ordinary person who's not famous comes, we don't think so much of it. But if someone suddenly comes here, do you know who's arriving? You see? So what to speak of Bhagavan, who's the supreme famous personality in the entire existence? That's Bhagavan. Then, Srila, 4th opulence. What?
all beauty.
Yes, all beauty. God has to be beautiful. But we talked about this yesterday, that the Christian conception does not include beauty. It is not including beauty. Because they don't know what is his form. So they make him look like a man with long gray beard and so forth. And old age is not beauty. Okay? You can try to say, oh, old age is very beautiful. No. Of course, if Bhagavan wants to appear old, he'll be very beautiful also. Even if he appears as a fish, okay? Or a boar incarnate, he's very beautiful. That's his opulence. Whatever form he takes is extremely beautiful. But the thing is, in terms of human perception of beauty, youth is beautiful. If that's not true, then why are all the different advertisements that people are trying to sell you something showing beautiful young ladies, or very beautiful, handsome young men, right? Because beauty is automatically attractive. They're not showing old people, unless they're trying to sell something that old people always use. You know? So youth is beauty. Youth is beauty. And this made so much sense to me when I learned about Krishna, having come from a Christian upbringing and gone to a Christian school and studied the Bible and all that. And when I heard about Krishna being the all-attractive supreme person, full of unlimited beauty, and he's young, and the description of his beautiful features, lotus eyes, and his beautiful hair, and everything, his color, completely mind-blowing beauty. And that's only our attempt to understand it with our mind. But if someone actually sees Krishna, if they actually have the vision of Krishna, he is so beautiful and attractive that you will completely lose any interest in any other relationship with the opposite sex or relationship with family, friends, everything. Krishna will completely steal your mind and your heart. Completely. Because he's Madan Mohan. He's the attractor of millions of cupids. Kandarpa Koti Kamaniya Vishesha Shobham. Vishesha Shobham means his extreme beauty. Very specifically beautiful he is. And therefore Kandarpa Koti. Koti means 10 million. He can attract 10 million just by his beauty. He doesn't have to do anything, say anything, move. Just his beauty completely defeats everyone. So this is Bhagavan. It's a lot different than the word God, is it not? Isn't it a lot different than the word God? What does Gurudev say for the word God?
Generator, operators.
That's right, and destroyer. And what is that? That word God, Supreme Personality of Godhead, because that's not his duty to create, maintain, and destroy. He's only playing eternally in Braja Vrindavan with his eternal associates and drinking unlimited rasa. So therefore he expands himself as Baladev. And then Baladev starts taking care of all these. Baladev expands himself as the Mahasankarshan. And then Mahasankarshan expands into another Mool Sankarshan in the Vaikuntha planets. And then from that first expansion with 4 arms, then come all the Narayan forms. And then from that Mool Sankarshan expands Karanadakshay Vishnu to create the material cosmic manifestations. And from him comes the other 2 expansions, Garbhadakshay Vishnu, Kiradakshay Vishnu, and also Anantashesh. So, that's very far removed from Krishna. Why? Because he has no duties to perform. So the conception of God in the Christian ideology is that he's the creator. They really don't even have a proper understanding that the whole universe gets wound up and destroyed. They don't have a understanding. And as far as maintaining, they're a bit confused. Who's maintaining? Why are things the way that they are? Yes, Prabhu.
You're speaking of Bhagavan as the Godhead.
Yes.
Can the word have multiple meanings? Like I've heard it referred to as like the original personality, like the origin, like a blueprint, your origin of all expansions.
Well, the word Bhagavan can refer to any of the expansions and all incarnations, as well as the original, which is Krishna.
In connection.
Yes, but in the Bhagavatam, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, in the very beginning, the term Swayam is added to the word Bhagavan. Swayam Bhagavan. Swayam actually means his very self. That means the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. And also avatari means he's the source of all the avatars, of all the expansions. You know, the term Supreme Personality of Godhead is referring to only that personality, Sri Krishna, and all other expansions, they are not the Supreme Personality of Godhead by that definition. You can say they are by another definition, because by tattva, they are him. They are Bhagavan Swayam, because he's expanded himself, and his expansions are none different than him. But from the viewpoint of rasa, that's called rasa vichar, only Krishna can be called Supreme Personality of Godhead in that context. And the interesting thing that we're going to be hearing here is that in that realm where he resides eternally, and he's the son of Maharaj Nanda, and he's the beloved of the gopis, and he's the protector of all the Brijvasis, and the friend, the Sakha of all the Kaur. He has all these relationships in Braj. But there, no one there has the understanding that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. There, his father and even he, they worship Lord Narayan. And Lord Narayan is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But this little boy Krishna, no one knows that he's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Why don't they know? Yes? Yogamaya. Yogamaya. Without Yogamaya, none of the pastimes can take place. Yogamaya is doing everything. She's an expansion of Srimati Radhika. Everything, the whole abode, all the pastimes, everything is going on under her direction. For pleasing Krishna, for enabling Krishna to taste rasa. She makes everything happen. She's also there in the Vaikuntha planets, and all those pastimes are also going on by her direction. But particularly in Braj, she takes the form of Purnamasi. She's a Mahayogini, very knowledgeable. And all the Brijvasis, they all have such reverence for her. And she's very great mystic. So whatever she tells, they immediately follow. So she has that actual form there. Yogamaya Purnamasi. So the Brijvasis, they don't know that Krishna is the Supreme Lord. They only see him as their friend. There's no Aishwarya mood mixed in, because if there was, then the rasa cannot go on. And this is how Gurudev explained this. If there's the mood of Aishwarya Gyan, Supreme Absolute Truth Personality, then how can Mother Yashoda consider Krishna her little child, her boy, and have so much overpouring prem, Vatsalya prem for him? Jai Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Sudarshan Chakraju ki Jai, Shri Shri Radha Govinda ki Jai, Sachinandan Gaur Hari ki Jai. Yes. Okay, so two more opulences. Jnana means?
Knowledge.
And Vairagya means?
Renunciation.
Yes, renunciation. Renunciation is one of the 6 opulences. Krishna has all renunciation completely in full. He's not attached to anything. But by rasa, he's very attached. By tattva, he's independent and completely detached. But by rasa, he's very attached. So that realm of Braja Vrindavan is the Madhurya Dham. Because as I told the other day, Krishna has 4 qualities that no other form of Godhead has. They're called his Madhuris. his sweetness qualities. What are they?
The Venu.
Venu Madhuri,
Venu Madhuri.
His flute.
Lila Madhuri.
his pastimes, yes.
Rupa
Rupa Madhuri, his form.
And
Prema.
Prema Madhuri.
Prema Madhuri. He is surrounded and exchanges such sweet prema that cannot be found anywhere else. So, the word God, just to complete this thought, the word God, G-O-D, Gurudev said, oh, generator, operator, destroyer. But that's not actually, it's like even Lord Brahma, or the demigods, they can fit into that. Who's the destroyer? Lord Shiva, you see. Who's the creator? Lord Brahma. So the Christian ideology of God is more like a Brahma conception. Lord Brahma creating, see. So, but at least in Christianity, one good thing about it is it's monotheistic. You know what that means?
Single.
What?
Singular.
Yeah, it means there's only, you see, like that. So that enables someone, on the basis of having that understanding. I mean, in Christianity, they don't even tell about the demigods, and that there are other beings that are controlling the movements of the universe and all the individual energies. They're controlling them, the material energies. But they're all under the direction of the head of the universal government, which is Lord Vishnu, ultimately. And Lord Vishnu is expansion of Krishna. So Lord Vishnu is Bhagavan. And he comes into this universe in innumerable incarnations. But when he comes, he has a particular duties to perform, because he has accepted the position of maintainer of the universe. So his duties, what are his duties? That Dharma, the principle of Dharma, by which the jivas, the living entities, can become elevated and advance towards attaining their eternal position, and they can go to the spiritual world and they can have their relationship with the Supreme Absolute Truth. So it's necessary to have this Sanatan Dharma, the eternal Dharma of the soul, by which the living entities in this world can gradually become advanced. But the culmination of that Dharma is what? The culmination of performing Dharma is spoken in the very beginning of the Bhagavatam, when the sages asked.
Liberation?
No, not at all. No. Liberation is only one of the 4 goals of human existence. Yeah. Savai pungsang paro dharmo. This is the verse. Yato bhaktirad hokshaje. You're correct. Ahoituki apratihata yeyatma suprasidati. This is the main verse in the 2nd chapter of Bhagavatam, wherein Sutta Goswami is now answering the question of the sages from the 1st chapter. Now they've asked all these questions, and now he's answering, and he begins to speak. And when he's answering the question of what is the highest dharma, what is the para dharma, the supreme duty of the living entities, and how can they, by following the supreme dharma, how can they achieve what is called atma suprasidati, complete satisfaction of the soul, of the self. How can that be attained? Because these sages, they're all transcendentalists. They're not mundane persons who are just trying to search after some titillation of their senses, okay, and enjoy some material sense gratification. These are completely renounced personalities. They're asking, what is the supreme dharma by which the Atma, the self, can be satisfied? Unconditional service until Lord Shri Krishna. And that answer is ahoituki apratihata. So it says, savai pungsam parodharmo, yato bhaktir adhoksade, by which the supreme dharma, by which bhakti to adhoksaja means the Supreme Lord who is transcendental to your mind, your senses, to the whole universe. To that personality, adhoksaja, then that bhakti must be, two qualities are given here. Ahoituki means without cause, causeless, unmotivated. And apratihata, uninterrupted. Ahoituki apratihata. Then at the end, ye, by this, atma suprasidati. Ye atma suprasidati. By this pure bhakti, unmotivated, uninterrupted, atma will be completely satisfied. The word atma can also be for the supreme atma, Krishna, by which he will be completely satisfied. Both meanings are there. So Gurudev is now saying, here the question arises that if Sri Krishna has so much love for the Brajvasis, then why did he go to Mathura and Dwarka, leaving them burning in the agony of separation from him? Why did Krishna do that? If he has so much love for the Brajvasis, does Krishna have so much love for the Brajvasis?
Yes.
Yes, we're learning that. But Krishna has so much love more than for anyone, for the Brajvasis. So then why did he go to Mathura and Dwarka, leaving them burning in the agony of separation from him? This seems to be quite cruel. No. Gurudev is saying that the explanation for this is that Sri Krishna, he cannot abandon any devotee. This is his nature. He cannot abandon any devotee. So for this reason, he went there to fulfill the desires in Mathura, devotees in Dwarka. This is the first. There's a lot of explanation here Gurudev is going to give. But first we have to digest this point. Because Gurudev is going to answer that why did Krishna leave Vrindavan and then go to Mathura and Dwarka, and then just leaving behind all these devotees that love him so much, and then they're burning in the agony of separation? So that question should come to the mind, why Krishna does this.
You were giving an example about the gopis burning.
Yeah.
And you explained, was that part of this?
Well, it was mentioning a similar
I was
point.
wondering if it was part of Raghunath Das or if it was part of some of the previous topics that we got right from them.
I don't remember in which particular class it was, but I remember speaking that, because actually it's not, but it appears outwardly, but inwardly it is the supreme ecstatic experience. Now, Gurudev will get into that, but here he's now first of all saying that there are many devotees, not just the devotees in Vrindavan and Raja. Krishna has many devotees, and he cannot abandon any of his devotees. That's Krishna's nature. He will never abandon any of his devotees. So for this reason, this is the beginning of the explanation, for this reason, he went to Mathura and Dwarka to fulfill the devotees who are living in Mathura and Dwarka. The whole Yadu dynasty, Krishna's Vasudeva and Devaki, who are the parents of Krishna according to the level in Mathura. But there will be a whole explanation here about the difference between Mathura and Vrindavan. Let us go on. The following question is then raised. After bringing joy to the devotees of Mathura and Dwarka, right? Because he can't abandon. So after he brought so much joy to all the devotees of Mathura and Dwarka, why did he not return to Vrindavan? You see?
The demons.
Now, the reason for this, Gurudev is saying, is that if Sri Krishna then Jarasandha would have come to know that Sri Krishna is the son of Nanda Baba and Yashoda Maya. Okay? So to take revenge on Sri Krishna for causing Kamsa's death, he would have attacked Vraja, Jarasandha. So are you understanding this point?
Yeah.
Who is Jarasandha?
King of Magadha.
And whose father is he?
He's the father of Kamsa's wives.
I don't know if there's
I
more.
thought there was two daughters.
Oh, maybe. Okay. I'm not clued into that. All right. Jarasandha, he was very upset that Krishna killed Kamsa and left his wives as widows. Right? So what did he start to do? He started to attack Mathura. Right? He started to attack Mathura. He's thinking that Krishna is the son of Vasudeva and Devaki, because after all, Kamsa understood that, right? Because in his marriage ceremony, the 8th son of Devaki will kill you. So the whole pastimes from Krishna's birth and even before his birth, it's all about Kamsa trying to prevent Krishna from killing him. And then, once he was defeated, because the 8th baby turned out to be a girl instead of a boy, then he tried to kill that baby, and what happened? The baby flew up into the air, slipped out of his hands when he was trying to smash the baby against the stone floor of the prison. And then she told him, "You're a fool. Well, the person that you're seeking is elsewhere." So then, for the whole next 11 years, he tried everything in his power to kill Krishna, sending Putana, the witch, sending Trinavarta, and so many demons. So Jarasandha, he was also demonic. And Jarasandha thought, oh, he's killed Kamsa, who is the true ruler of Mathura and all these kingdoms and lands. All right, we're going to have to finish this Krishna. Now we're going to finish him. So then, it's described in the Bhagavatam that Jarasandha tried 18 times to attack the Mathura city that had walls around it. And each time that he came with these gigantic armies, all ready to fight, Krishna came out from the Mathura on his chariot, and he had his army, and then Krishna was the last soldier in the entire army of Jarasandha, and then Jarasandha had to go back. And then he tried to make another army. After some time, he managed to get more, and came again and attacked, and the same thing happened again and again and again. So what was Krishna doing? Yeah, go ahead.
He was getting rid of the unwanted demoniac population.
That's right, because who requested Krishna to descend? In the beginning of the 10th canto. Yes, Mother Earth, Bhumi Devi. And she approached Lord Brahma. And then Lord Brahma passed the message on to Krishna, and then the message came that I will descend to take away the heavy burden that was causing so much distress to Mother Bhumi of all these demoniac military forces. Yeah.
I was just going to say, those armies that Jarasandha had, were not just any armies, they were like Ahokshinis, weren't they?
Oh, yeah.
Tons.
Yeah. And the thing is, you see, Kamsa had many, many allies, many, many kings. They had all surrendered to Kamsa, and they were demoniac, you know. And this is not even touching, you know, the Yadu dynasty and the whole story of the Mahabharata. But the Duryodhana, because he had that demoniac temperament, he also created allies with many, many kings. And that's why they had so many millions of soldiers ready to fight on the battlefield. See? But we should understand, the point that Gurudev is making, is that Krishna, if he had gone back to Vrindavan, then that would have immediately been a signal to Jarasandha and other such demoniac persons. Oh, now we know where Krishna's real heart is. Okay, we'll finish off all the Brijvasis, and then they would attack. That's one reason why Krishna could not return to Vrindavan, especially just after he killed Kamsa. So he stayed in Mathura for so many years. Because it took some time for Jarasandha to go and amass another army, and he did this 18 times. So there's something like 20 years Krishna was there. So now moving on about this particular point. If Krishna had returned, then Jarasandha would have come to know that Sri Krishna is the son of Nanda Baba and Yashoda Maya. And to take revenge on Sri Krishna for causing Kamsa's death, he would have attacked Braj. And in Braj, there is no system to protect it from outsiders, nor was there any fort, nor did Nanda Baba have any soldiers. So Jarasandha would have easily destroyed all of Braj and imprisoned Nanda Baba and Yashoda Maya, just as Kamsa had imprisoned Vasudeva and Devaki. This is the external reason for Sri Krishna's not returning to Braj. But there are also many other confidential reasons for this. Okay? Now, here we'll tell something. Gurudev is asking, could Sri Krishna not have come to Vrindavan from time to time to pacify the Brijvasis? Especially the gopis, who were enduring the agony of separation from him. Whenever we were on Braj Mandal Prikrama, Gurudev would make the point, because you can easily drive on an auto rickshaw from Vrindavan to Mathura in about half an hour maximum. It's not that far away. But we're going to find out the confidential and internal reasons. Yeah, of course, Krishna could have gone there, but we've already heard that that would have clued in Jarasandha and so forth. But that's the external reason why Krishna didn't go. Now, the reason he did not do so, the reason why he didn't, is because the very bodies of the gopis are made of separation. Vipralambhavav. The bodies of the gopis are made of this. The reason, when Sri Krishna was in Vrindavan, then even a moment's separation from him used to seem like eons for the gopis. Even a moment. And we have that Mahaprabhu expressing that, isn't he expressing that in the Sikshastakam? The 8 verses of Sikshastakam? Which verse? Yes? No.
It just Govinda Vyahaname.
Yes. Nayanam Galad Ashrudharaya Vadanam Gadgada Rudhaya Gira Pulakair Nichitam Papukkada. Oh, that's the 6th verse. Tavanama Grahane Bhavishyati. Then the 7th verse. What? Yugaitam nimeshena. Yugaitam nimeshena. Chakshusha pravrishaitam. Shunyaitam jagat sarvam. Govinda virahena me. Govinda vira means separation. Govinda virahena me. Viraha means separation. So here in the verse, what is Mahaprabhu telling here in this verse? Yugaitam nimeshena. What does that mean?
A moment's separation feels like a millennium.
Yes, that's correct. Yuga, like a yuga, and a nimisha. Nimisha means a moment, and yugaitam means a whole yuga. Then the next line says, Chakshusha pravrishaitam. My eyes, torrents of rain are falling, tears are falling like torrents of rain. Shunyaitam jagat sarvam. The whole universe feels in your absence like void. Shunya, void. Govinda virahena me. Oh Govinda, feeling your separation. Your extreme separation. Even a moment feels like a yuga in your absence. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain. And I am feeling that completely void in your absence. This is called praying. In the 7th verse, it is praying. And the 8th verse of Shikshastakam is Srimati Radhika's praying. So, when Sri Krishna was in Vrindavan, even a moment's separation from him used to seem like eons for the gopis. And when he went to Mathura, their feeling of separation intensified immensely. When a droplet of water falls on a very hot frying pan, like if you have a frying pan, it's on the fire, and it's getting super hot, there's nothing in it, and suddenly one drop goes there on the hot frying pan, what happens?
Boils immediately.
It just immediately disintegrates. Finished. Right? So, it instantly sizzles and evaporates, turning into steam. And the temperature of the frying pan increases rather than decreases. So in the same way, the gopis' agony of separation is like a hot frying pan. And Sri Krishna's meeting them for a few days would be like a drop of water intensifying their burning in separation. Krishna understood that. Some people may ask the following question: that Sri Krishna delivered the sleeping Mathuravasis to Dwarka. He transported them. While the Mathuravasis were sleeping in the night, in the middle of the night, Krishna delivered them to Dwarka. He transported them to Dwarka. And thus, he showed that he can make the impossible possible. Krishna demonstrated that he can make the impossible possible. You know how, because Sri Krishna saw that too many of these demoniac kings, they were now starting to come and attack. So Mathura was no longer going to be a safe place for all the Mathura Vasis. So now Krishna arranged to build the Dwarka fort on an island. All this was manifested by Krishna's, supreme power. And then, while the Mathura Vasis were sleeping, and he transported them there, and they woke up in Dwarka. All safe. You see? So the question is being asked, if he can do like this, that shows that he can make anything that's impossible, he can make it possible. But then why did he not take Nanda Baba, Yashoda Maya, his Sakas, his Gopis, and the other Vrajavasis? Why did he not take them to Dwarka? This is the question.
There would be more like Aishvara.
Yes.
He was God.
Yes. Go ahead, you can try.
I think Gurudev said once it would be a fake Ras.
Well, we're going to hear now. This is very interesting. Gurudev is saying, in answer to this question, why did he not take the Vrajavasis also? So in Dwarka, Krishna had numerous, enormous palaces for not only each of his queens, but also for Vasudeva, Devaki, Akrura, Uddhava, and so on. When thousands and millions of Mathura Vasis used to live there, in Dwarka, could he not have made beautiful arrangements for the Brajvasis to stay there also? So the reason that Sri Krishna did not do this is that Mathura and Dwarka are the lands of Aishwarya, majesty and opulence. And Vrindavan is the land of Madhurya, charming sweetness. Aishwarya and Madhurya cannot simultaneously exist in one place. The moods of Vrindavan, they can never manifest in Dwarka, and the moods of Dwarka can never manifest in Vrindavan. These two bhavs are opposite, and putting them together is called ras abhas. That means the overlapping of mellows, of rasas. To understand this, it is first of all necessary to understand the meaning of Madhurya and Aishwarya bhavs. In Dwarka, there is complete majesty, complete vaibhav, supreme majesty, vaibhav. There, God, as the complete, sometimes his four-armed form in Dwarka. Even shows forearms. Means that the Dwarka Vasis and the Mathura Vasis who were transported to Dwarka dynasty, they know. They have this understanding that Krishna is the supreme Ishvara. But as I said before, in Vrindavan, they don't. Good. You're all paying good attention today. Now sometimes, yes. Only Madhurya it remains covered by Madhurya Bhav. It's covered. Controller, Parameshwara, it never enters her heart. How can she think that about her little baby son that came from her womb? When we would go there to Gokul, which is the Yashoda, there, and certain places there depicting the delivery room where Mother Yashoda delivered. And this was witnessed by the gopis, and especially the elderly gopis. And there was also in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Maharaj Parikshit. Is he a Brajbasi? No. What is he? Every person in the Yadu dynasty, he's a descendant of the Pandava. They know Krishna is the own is Madhurya. If Krishna to be Purna Brahma, truth, she would never have been able to scold him. How would she scold him? Huh? Is the Aishwarya that is manifest only a fraction of the Aishwarya. Madhurya covers, which is only when appropriate. That Aishwarya can only manifest Leela, you see. So even though there is a human Bhagavan Sri Krishna in the form of a tiny helpless baby killed such a strong witch as Putana and revealed his godhood and his man. But because it's the Madhurya Dham, he did not change his form. He's just a little baby.
They couldn't see it.
Yeah, the Brajbasis can never see. They just think, oh Lord Narayan, you protected our Krishna. Oh, thank you, Lord Narayan. Like this. And when Sri Krishna was only 7 years of age, he, with a smile, with a smiling lotus face, he lifted Govardhan Hill on his little finger. And he held it there for 7 days as easily as an elephant lifts a lotus Shakti of Krishna. Radhaji looked at Govardhan with a piercing sidelong glance and said, if you fall, you will be burnt to ashes. And in this way, everyone was helping in accordance with their own bhavs, thinking that without their assistance, Sri Krishna would not be able to hold up Govardhan alone. Without assuming a huge form, he displayed his great Aishwarya is there. And even if Aishwarya is displayed in Bhagavan's human-like pastimes, they are still called Madhurya-filled pastimes, not Aishwarya. In Vrindavan, Krishna is the friend of all the Gopas, and he is the beloved of all the young Gopis, and he is the son of all the motherly Gopis. This mood is not in Dwarka. There, only majesty and opulence. So in Dwarka, Sri Krishna identifies himself as being a Kshatriya, and he is the son of Vasudeva and Devaki. But in Vrindavan, however, he considers himself to be a Gopa and the son of Nanda Baba and Yashoda. So if the Mathura Vasis and the Brajavasis all live together in Dwarka, then whose son would Sri Krishna call himself? In Dwarka, Sri Krishna is a king, and therefore would not be able to go out cow herding with his sakas. He would not be able to give up his gem-studded golden crown and don a crown of peacock feathers. And due to the presence of the 16,108 queens, He could not play his flute there to call the gopis to the rasa dance. And if all the gopas and the gopis were to come to Dwarka, the union of the two bhavs would give rise to the defect of ras abas, the overlapping of mellows. So the elevated mood of Vrindavan can never arise in Dwarka. In Vrindavan, Sri Krishna carries his flute. Yes? In Vrindavan, Sri Krishna carries his flute. Does he carry a flute in Dwarka? In Mathura? In Vrindavan, Krishna wears a peacock feather. Does he wear a peacock feather in Mathura and Dwarka? And in Vrindavan, Krishna displays his beautiful threefold bending form as Manmata Manmata. That is stated in the Ras Leela dance. When Krishna appeared to the gopis after they sang Gopi Gita and Krishna reappeared, and it describes there that he looked as Manmata Manmata. That means directly Cupid himself. So he displays this beauty and his beautiful threefold bending form. He who enchants Cupid, Kamadev, himself. This is Krishna in Vrindavan. He is Kamadev himself, the transcendental Cupid. So Sri Krishna's topmost pastime place, Giriraj Govardhan, as well as Sri Vrinda Devi, who arranges his sweet pastimes, they could never abandon Braja and go to Dwarka. Sri Krishna cannot perform Ras Leela in Dwarka. And so the gopis would never go there. Sri Krishna can never be there in his complete swarup, his complete form. He resides there in his manifestation of Vasudev, because Swayam Bhagavan, Sri Krishna, never gives up his swarup of Rajendra Nandan, Shyama Sundar, and he could never abandon Vrindavan. End of Gurudev's Katha. Is that not astonishing, how Gurudev has described this? Today, by hearing, you received very important samskaras. And these are samskaras that you've already received, but not so much aware. But the more that you become aware of this Harikatha, as Gurudev is describing, the more qualified everyone will be to enter into the actual form of bhakti that Gurudev, Mahaprabhu, all of our acharyas have come to give Rupa Nupa Bhakti. Without these understandings, you cannot enter. You must understand the difference between Aishwarya and Madhurya. Everything has to be properly understood. This is the most important siddhanta, rasa siddhanta. But we have to gradually come to understand this, you see. So in the Ras Leela, in the Ratha Yatra festival, all this katha is happening. This is actually what Mahaprabhu is relishing and tasting. All these moods of Vrindavan. Because Mahaprabhu is Radha. Fully. In Ratha Yatra, Mahaprabhu is the very embodiment of Srimati Radhika. And tasting the moods of meeting Krishna again. But she does not want to meet him there in Kurukshetra because that's not a suitable place for the Madhurya pastimes to go on. They will not come to Dwarka, as we just heard, the gopis. They will not come. But they'll come to Kurukshetra. They'll come there. But they will not live there. They will not stay there. They're coming to meet Krishna. And what's their intention? We're going to bring him back to Vrindavan, where he belongs, where eternally he can be in the highest happiness. He's not happy here. We know that. Only we can satisfy him. This is the mood of the Braja Gopis and Srimati Radhika. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai, Shri Gauranga Mahaprabhu ki jai, Shri Rath Yatra Katha ki jai, Shri Chaitanya Charitamritam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Gurudev ki jai, Shri Rupanuga Guru Varga ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Jai Nitai, Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Vansha Kalpatarubhyascha, Dubhyadevacha, Patitam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo. Shri Gaur Arti ki jai, Radha Krishna Jugal Arti ki jai.
Shri Hari Katha ki jai.
Jai.
Shri Padmanabha Maharaj ki jai.
Jai Gurudev, Jai Prabhupada.
Actually, go.
You have to go.